In this video, we're going to look at writing the equations of some sections and contours from the surface picture of the graph. So we've got a surface shown here, seems to be a sort of a cylindrical shape. What is the equation of the contour when z is equal to 0? So first off, let's just establish when is z equal to 0. Okay, so if I go to the origin, for example there, okay, the z coordinate there is equal to 0. Okay, and anything at the same height, so we can't move up or down, would have a z coordinate equal to 0. Okay, so essentially anything in line with the x-axis and the y-axis. So I mean, I could sort of draw around the edge of the picture here just to show anything sort of in line here is going to be on my contour. Now what I need to think is that sort of rectangle or square that I've drawn around the outside, okay, which part of our cylindrical surface is in contact with that? Well, it would be the rim of it, okay, around here, all the way around like that. Okay, that is going to be my contour. So I have to give the equation of that black shape that I've drawn. Now, assuming this is a cylinder, that's going to be a circle. Okay, so given that we're dealing with a contour, our variables are going to be x and y, and our circle is centered at the origin. So it's going to be x squared plus y squared is equal to the radius squared. Now, if I want to figure out my radius, let's see, do I know any points which are going to be on my contour? Well, yes, I do. Okay, I know that this point down here is on it, this point over here is on it. Again, you can see that the y coordinate here is 3, x coordinate here is 3, so that implies that the radius is going to be 3. So r squared, we'd write 3 squared, or you could write 9 if you wanted to. Okay, and that would be the equation of my contour. Let's look at a different one. So write a possible equation of the section where y is equal to 0. So first off, let's just establish where is our y coordinate equal to 0. Okay, so one point would be at the origin there. Okay, that would be 1 point. And then we just can't move in the direction of that green axis. Okay, so we can't go further away from the blue and red axis in either direction. Okay, we'd have to go side to side on both axes. So we could, if I was to sort of draw along my x-axis, okay, like that, okay, we could have anything that is above or below that black line, essentially. Now, we don't want to below it in this case because the surface doesn't actually go below it. Okay, so we're more looking above. Now, if I was to sort of move that black line up and think about which parts of the surface would be getting cut out by it, okay, it would be, if I do it in a different color, it would be this part going around here. Okay, so that would be my section. Now, hopefully you'll recognize that section as a quadratic. Okay, so quadratics, if we're thinking about the variables we're using here, we'd be using our z and our x, because y is held constant. Okay, so our quadratic would be of the form z is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, what we have to think is, can we simplify that down? Well, if we look at what's going on here, okay, the turning point is at the origin. Okay, if that's going to be the case, your value for b will be 0. And if the turning point is at the origin, the y-intercept is also going to be 0. So c is also going to be 0. So I'm left with z is equal to ax squared. And that is a possible equation for this section. Now, if I wanted to figure out a, I'd have to look, do I know a point which is on the curve? Okay, now it's not drawn very visibly where I can definitely be sure what the coordinates are. But if we make the assumption that this point here has a z coordinate of 1 and an x coordinate of 1, well, that's enough information to find our unknown a. Okay, so we're saying that z is equal to 1 when x is equal to 1. So therefore, a is going to come out as 1. So that means my final answer would be z is equal to x squared. Okay, however, given that it's a possible equation, I think the z equals ax squared would have sufficed for this. Okay, however, if we're going to make that assumption, the final answer could be z is equal to x squared. Now, for most questions like this, when it's come up in the exam, usually your answer has been either a circle or a quadratic. So if you're unsure, I'd always guess one of those two.